They call me crazy cause I'm facing all my giants. They try to scare me into thinking I can fight it. They tell me I should never even think of trying. But that's just me, I'm gonna live out in defiance.
Creators want it.
What's going on, guys? Let's see. Am I here? You can hear me. I also wanted to do something really cool, which was welcome to. Yeah, there's no sound effects. I'm sorry. I was working on that. But to the Geek Saga. Guys, it is Wednesday. It's a little after 30, and I know my partner is out, and I can't text him because I'm doing something different today with my camera. So, David, when you get your camera issue back up, then I'll stall. But yeah, even I was having some technical difficulties I was hoping to have a different setup. It's still a little bit different. I am standing up, which I like to do. It's like taking a seat, doing this thing because it gives me a chance to move around and also gave me a chance to do cool. Let's watch this. Bam! Damn, I'm good. Oh my God, I created something really cool. There you go. Anyways, yeah, I'm your host, Eugene. David is coming in. I hope he does. If not, text me to let me know that you're not going to make it on because I can't. I really tonight. Otherwise, I'd lose the camera that I'm actually looking at right now. Because I'm, like I said, and I'm hoping to build this up to more while I'm here stuck at this base. I am coming to you guys from the Phoenix Club at Roberts. It's where I work, but it's also a location. So the Phoenix Club is a place for the troops to come in to kind of relax, hang out. If I had the other camera up and running, I would show you guys more, but I don't want to mess with this setup right now because unfortunately we already lost camera. So no, we're not going to do that because then we're going to mess things up. But anyways, welcome to the Geek Saga, guys. It is two salty veterans that are huge. And my partner who I always have he was on the activation that was going on in LA. He's finally back home. He's been home for a little while, but it's like, get things in order home before you come back fully 100% to us, because obviously we want you here ready to go. So, and David will definitely be there. I'm honestly looking forward to that. And my camera just crapped out too. See, he's not the only one with camera issues tonight. But Regina, thank you for letting me know. I know, like I've been looking forward to having him back. Trust me, I've missed him in a heterosexual way, life partner type thing. You get it, whatever. Anyways, it's been a day. It's definitely been a week so far. Not the week hasn't been done yet, but it's been great. It's last week. It's been super busy for me. I'm gonna be in this weekend to. It's called Wicked Fest, which is actually out in. I think where it's at, but it's out towards like the Corona area. It's on Instagram. It's free. They've got like 70 vendors and all. Gonna get out there. Just gonna go out there as a patron to go check it out because I'm not going out there to film. I don't know what's out there yet. But once I take a look at it, maybe I'll take some pictures while I'm out there and we'll see what happens. So, but of course, guys, it is great to be on. It is great to be here. I'm really thankful to everybody at the NWR for allowing me to do this here because it's either that or I'm back stuck in that room. The internet was even worse there than it is in here, which is, I know, it's hard to believe, but you might be catching a little delay on my microphone, of course, because again, I'm trying something out. They're working on getting a faster internet out here, which is great for the troops. And yeah, maybe then we could have an even better show from here and we'll just see what we can do. But I'm still waiting on David before I move on to anything else. But you know what, Regina, you know what? I haven't seen you in forever, and that hurts too. I know David hasn't been on, but at least my old producer it'd been nice, some show notes and all that other stuff, and talking about me because I forget something. Miss that. Miss you guys. But you know what? While we're still waiting, you know what? Let's go through these things, which I always like to do because they are some affiliates. And wait. Your head if you're ready. Okay. I'm bringing you in. Do you want me to bring you in now? Because I'm going to do the affiliates. There you are. You bring yourself in. I'm even telling you that. Everybody, it's David. What's going on, man?
Chew. I was just trying to fight with my computer. I'm using my crappy built-in freaking computer from the actual laptop because the other one just shit itself. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I gotta raise up my volume, and if I do that, I know I'm gonna mess something up here.
How do I sound?
Fine.
Got this new gift.
What is that? Which microphone is that?
Don't know. It's free.
Oh, it's an X. It's a Razer X.
No, HyperX.
Or HyperX. Yeah, at one time I actually reached out to them to see if they would want to do something for us, and they just said, "You don't have enough numbers." I was like, "Okay."
They're like, "Thanks, no thanks, go away."
Pretty much, that's like the story. That's like the story for us is, thanks, but we're gonna go another route. But dude, what's going on with you anyways? God, it's been forever. And of course, everybody here wants to know how you're doing.
I'm good, man. Just looking for work. Trying to figure out this setup.
Are you at the new house?
Yeah.
Nice. So wait, is that a green screen or is that the actual shelf?
No. I'm in my son's room right now because I had to pick him up from work.
Yeah.
And so I ran home and I was like, "You're not going to your room. I need your desk." And I kicked him out of his own room. So I'm green screening it. You can see it when I move. It's behind me somewhere. But yeah, man, I'm just chilling. Just doing the dad thing right now, like all day, every day.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you that I'm kind of jealous of that because God, it's been over it.
You won't be jealous on the 28th when you get a check.
Okay. You got me.
Just saying.
I know, but dude, honestly, to actually see you on and hear your voice, I'm not lying. I've been struggling without you. You complete me.
Oh, I know. Oh, that looks shitty on my other screen.
Here, wait. So I can see better.
I'm confused. I can't do this. I have to put it back on the laptop. You see me? I'm like, I can't figure this out.
Oh crap! Look at that. I can actually see. And
Imagine putting those things on. Those things.
I know. And we got Gabagool is here. What's up? What's going on, Gabagool? I don't know who you are, but hey, what's up? Finally, we can have a show. Wow, thanks, James. Thank you so much. Of course, he at the right time, just fuck his crap. Haven't been on him forever. Thanks for the invite. Hey, how many times have we invited to come onto the show and not come on?
I can count it on like every finger and hand and toes.
Yes.
And he just says, no, not today.
Yeah, exactly. Comic Geek and more over there at Instagram. What's going on? I know. No, that he's saying twice. That's a lie. That is a lie.
That is a character from My Hero Academia and not the truth.
That is a lie from the pit of hell. God, James. That's jacked up, man. You're calling us out like that. But really quick, I did want to go through our affiliates, and we're down to, unfortunately, we're down to really 2.
Just Movo now.
Ulanzi and Movo. I haven't heard, and nothing against Legendary Subs. I haven't heard from them in a while, so like I'm gonna go to them to see if we can get because our affiliate code isn't working, so we got that fixed. But they're still working. But we are working. I am working on a couple others that have actually reached back to us that are one we've been wanting for a while. And actually one that is, if we get them, it would be huge, but we got to wait and see. And toys, and I'm excited about that. You should be excited about that too.
I'm not. I'm just fine.
And it's not Nacelle, but I'm still working the Nacelle angle, and Brian is a great guy. We're still hoping to do more with him. Yeah, dude. Since he's been gone, I've been trying to figure out what the hell to do. Where to do this from? The internet in my room just took a complete dive. Like froze up and would like in the show, I'd be 20 minutes in and it just cuts out.
Oh, that's crazy. Are you at the MWR?
Yeah, they actually finished this place up, minus the restrooms, but they're working on it. But dude, this place is freaking sick now. Like literally, awesome. I actually was gonna do it from have this bigger, but I was short some cables. I couldn't get it to run, so I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm gonna go out here. I shifted some stuff to be able to do what I'm doing now. But yeah, it's pretty cool up here, man. But yeah, that's much it. So let me do these affiliates and let's roll into the news, man.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's drop into the affiliates, which we're going to start with Ulanzi. Guys, if you don't know who Ulanzi is, a great company. They do a lot of lighting and a lot of videography stuff, even some camera stuff. And the lights that are on me right now are Ulanzi lights. I actually brought them all up. I'd show you them, but they're actually on stands, so I can't show you. They are amazing. That's an amazing company. So check them out. Go into our bio. It'll see over their company. And here's great. And that's why, like, I picked their lights and a lot of stuff. That if we go to a con or we could have these little lights attached to our cameras and we're pop in, ready to go. So check out Ulanzi for all their stuff. Next we've got, and we were already talking about them, with Movo. Guys, Movo is another. If you saw at the beginning of the show, we had a little commercial that ran, which is official commercials for this particular. That didn't sound right, but that's okay.
I was gonna say your sound is a little.
Was it good or was it not good?
Cuts out and it's cutting out a little bit here and there. I think your lapel's covering it.
Well, also could be the in here, which sucks, unfortunately. But this right here is a great little mic. I've used this quite a bit at a lot of signings and a lot of cons. This is their, where's the box? The U or the X or the, it's a great microphone. I can't remember the name. That's a good, that's, the TX something. But
remember us, Movo. We get it right every time.
yeah, we get it right all the time.
TX something.
But they're all the stuff that we do use, which is like all the microphones that if you guys did watch any of the is this better? Any of the con footage from last year, all the microphones that we use were all Movo microphones. They're a great company. Not only do they have some great mics, they have some great products as far as, again, videography. They have little stands for all your camera needs, for your phone needs. So check them out. Great company. If you have a problem with it, you could send it and they'll get it right back out to you as quick as possible because they want to keep you as their customers. Also, they do have a lot of great sales. Again, if you're just starting out, these guys are pretty awesome because the sales go on all year long. It's not just for Black Friday. It's not just for Christmas. It's year long. They're going to always have something on sale, so check them out. And to give you guys a little, something to chew on while you're waiting for LA Comic-Con, we will be giving away a couple microphones at LA Comic-Con as prizes in a raffle we're going to do. We have ideas for games also, so we're going to be giving away stuff there. And some of the stuff that we use through Ulanzi and Movo, even like Legendary Subs, which is another great company, and Randy, we got to get hold of you. We'll be giving stuff away while we're there, and come by the booth at the Project Wish Upon a Star booth. But with that, I'm going to say so long to this and bring us back into this. Oops, there we go. So what did Jake? Hey, did you got your LA Comic-Con passes already, right?
Yes, sir. Sitting
Sweet.
in my inbox right now.
Dude, I honestly am really excited about this year's LA Comic-Con. Guys, if you don't know, also Project Wish Upon a Star, which is a great company or a great charity that we work with all the time, is actually giving away a weekend pass to LA Comic-Con. So check that out. He wants to try to get to heaven. He means Israel. This is the land that welcomes. What? All right. Did you see that? Right on. Wow. Hey, we're attracting all kinds of people. That's great, though. That's a new viewer. Depeche Mode. Awesome.
Depeche Mood.
Oh, Depeche Mood. Well, hey, see, I took these off and now I can't see. So, welcome to the show. Anyways, but the podcast just turned into Bible study. I guess so, man. All right.
Hey, we're here for the flock.
Yeah. Come.
Get the flock out of here.
Hey, if you want your prayers to be answered, Geek Saga's here for you. We will do that. Just send us a check for $59.99 and we will help you.
For 10 cents a day, you could get Eugene some good internet.
Yeah, honestly, jeez. I mean, AOL just did say that they're done with their dial-up, so I'm going to be screwed really soon. So,
can't believe it, man. End of an era.
Seriously, I mean, you remember all those CDs?
Dude, AOL, what else? There was Netgear.
Yeah, the Netgear ones.
Dude, so many.
It was great. It was a good time, man.
I never knew how to use them. I would collect them and then they just stack because I could never figure it out.
Well, see, what I would do is I take the AOL, I try it, and then get rid of it, and then new one comes, put that into the computer, set it up with a new email, use that internet, and then like it was just like it was great. But this
I used
podcast
to
just
stack them, dude, and then I
uh-huh.
found I figured it out.
And I think my internet is it your internet, my internet.
Nah,
Back.
you're pretty choppy over there. I'm back.
I know it's like
What was I
I'm
gonna say?
literally. Oh yeah, what were you saying?
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't
Hey, look
remember.
at that.
I lost it.
We're right back into it, like we haven't skipped a day. Oh man. Well, oh man, my contact. Okay, so we are going to roll into our first segment, which guys, if you guys don't know these segments, if you've never watched the show, we always like to do something called the Geek News. So like this is kind of huge. Did you hear about this? What's going on?
Bro, I am not gonna lie to you. I'm flying by the seat of my pants today. I did not read ahead.
That's
I did not
okay.
do the homework. I just
That's what I'm
showed
here
up.
for. If you actually go onto your emails, you can see what at least where the source came from. Let me see. And I'm a little unprepared too because I didn't
I got
get
them
to
open. I just like I said, opening them now.
Okay. So the Age of Apocalypse returns for its 30th anniversary. So do you remember this when it was in the comics? The whole Age of Apocalypse era. So I can't believe dude, it's been 30 years. 30 freaking years. That's nuts.
Dude, this thing was so big when it came out, like it immediately made it into the animated series.
Yeah. Like X-Men, and back then we didn't call it X-Men 97, we called it X-Men cartoon. Was still going, and then after the run of this whole thing, yeah, you're right. They immediately turned it into the cartoon and put it in there. Like it was part of it. So it was huge. And I collected, and this is what sucks, is that my dad's damn dog, and I always tell the story, ate up all my comics.
Sucks to suck, dude.
Yeah, well, now I'm trying to recollect my childhood, one comic at a time, going to not just the comic book stores, but I'm going to freaking swap meets. And if I find them, I'm like a little kid, and I'm like grabbing them all, and I'm like, all right, I'm taking all these for like $2 each. But but this thing was a huge thing for comic book. Archangel, this is where we got Dark Beast, One-Handed Wolverine, and then Archangel. And what else is? I can't read everything. What's James saying?
God. He said this is also when the foil covers started to come out, the reflective, holographic stuff. Yeah.
No, the first one that had a holographic was the X-Men. Wasn't it X-Men 50? It had an individual holographic on it.
Maybe, but I know he's not wrong about like the robustness of how much the foils became a thing, because this was like before the big guys left and went to Image. They were doing all of these crazy runs on X-Men, Spider-Man, and all that stuff, and the holographic covers were like everywhere. That it was like a really early 90s like boom, and then we started getting the trading cards and all the I don't know. You remember the X-Men cards back in the day? Oh, did I lose you? Oh no, I think he's.
You there?
Yep, I'm here, but you're not. Your picture's gone.
Yeah, my internet completely dumped, and it dumped my camera. Keep talking. I gotta readjust.
Yeah. Anyway, so what I was saying was this is when the covers were running rampant, early '90s, early to mid '90s, and then we started getting the tops trading cards for X-Men with all the cool art on them.
I actually had all those. I was able to collect them all, and that was back when I was working for the comic store, which was actually pretty cool.
I didn't collect them all, but I do have a lot of them at my dad's house. They're all pretty janky because I use all my stuff. I open them, tear through them, thumb through all the cards. So they're pretty janky, but they're there. If I would have known you were going to be gone, I wouldn't have came back. I'm just going to tell you right now.
I wasn't expecting this to happen. I was hoping to have good internet and working great and all that other stuff. And what do I get? I get garbage.
Garbage.
You gotta love the Army. You know, they give us the best.
Well, are you still using the T-Mobile tower over there, or what?
Yeah, they're still on the T-Mobile tower. They're supposed to be getting Starlink really soon, or at least we've got some Starlink. Hey, that works.
There you are. Actually, you got a better picture now.
Well, I have a better picture because now I'm running direct into the computer. So, there we go. Trying something new, and it failed. So whatever, we'll go with it. But yeah, so I'm back and I'm better than ever.
But going back, I mean, this is Arthur Adams did the covers, and that's where we started getting like the whole Rogue, Magneto, Gambit, love triangle thing going on, which they adapted pretty good in the X-Men '97 continuation of the original animated series.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is probably one of my favorite arcs from the animated series back when it came out. Only because I missed it in the comics. I didn't actually read it all. Like I remember it. I know the entire story. I know what happens in it, but I didn't get a chance to read it because I wasn't collecting. I think I was like freaking 10 at the time.
Oh.
So I didn't have the money to collect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. And at that time, I was actually working at the comic book store. So that's the only reason why I was able to actually collect them, like sequentially, and then collect everywhere it went. I was following the storyline, no matter what. And I mean, in this series, we've got Xavier was killed, and Magneto led the X-Men instead, and also X-Men of Apocalypse. So a 6-issue event with Alpha and Omega bookended one-shots, and also, let's see, what does it say about this? So Nat Gray X-Men is back. Nat Gray, aka X-Man, returns to the center stage, created by the DNA of Cyclops and Jean Grey by Mr. Sinister. He is a fan favorite from X-Men #1 in 1995, and he survived the Age of Apocalypse and joined the main Marvel universe. Later evolved into a shaman persona, even crafting the Age of X-Men universe. So a lot went on in this series, and like you said, and James was saying, obviously there was variant covers that was running more rampant then, along with this series, and the main cover featured Nate Gray versus Sabretooth, which I do remember, and then they're bringing back a lot of the artists that did a lot of the stuff from the original, and they're going to have them do covers for this.
Yeah, it's like I said, Arthur Adams did a lot of the cover stuff from back in the day, and his art is always so cool. Him, Joe Madureira, he did like the Darksiders games and Battle Chasers. Their art's always really cool, and it's like what makes me think of '90s X-Men. like early Jim Lee, and then Joe Madureira and Arthur Adams is like everything I think of when I think of Marvel from the 90s.
I think of, well, I mean, also we had some, obviously, Liefeld, which, because he launched X-Force back during this time, actually, when they did this. So, I mean, I'm pretty excited about this this whole launch of this, and I guess we'll just see how it goes. I did see, and if you look on that article, and I didn't grab enough of the pictures, or any of the pictures, but you'll see that some of the variant covers that they've already done for it, and they actually look pretty damn awesome. I'm actually kind of excited.
That's what I was saying. Like, you can see the influence that those dudes had, because a lot of the covers look the same and they're not done by the same guys. Like Simone DeMille is someone I didn't know who they are, but it looks very Joe Mad. Same with the Arthur Adams cover that has the three Gambit, Cyclops, or Gambit, Rogue, and Magneto.
Yeah, that actually looked really cool. But here's the thing: is that I haven't been a Marvel fan for a long time, and I know I'm probably going to get some hate for that. I am, but I haven't been a big Marvel fan for a long time. I've been doing a lot of the indie comics, whether it's indie or it's just like some of the like Image Comics, Boom, all those companies that aren't like huge compared to like Marvel and DC. So this is going to be my first dabble back into DC or into Marvel when this comes out.
Yeah, I just haven't collected comics in forever. I think the last book I got was the Last Ronin, and that's because I waited till it became a compilation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where the story goes. I haven't read comics like X-Men serials in I don't know, man, 10 years, 15 years.
Damn. Well, I still have a comic that I got to give to you, which is actually it was oh my god, I'm about to forget his name from freaking We Can Be Heroes. Julio gave me a comic to give to you, which was, and I know you're probably gonna be like, because the artwork was like, but it was the Naruto.
TMNT?
Yep, I have number 1 for you.
Hell yeah! I actually
I've
wanted
been holding
that
on to it. Oh, then perfect. I've been holding on to it this whole time. He even said, "Hey, David's Turtles fan, right?" I'm like, yeah. And he just tossed it in the bag. I was like, sweet.
Hell yeah. Julio, big ups to you. I'll take it.
You can give Big Julio a hug when you go to LA Comic Con. He'll be there. So moving on, we're going to do a little bit more X-Men, and that is, so casting has reportedly started to go underway for the new X-Men Marvel reboot, which, how do you feel about that, dude?
I'm excited, man. Like I said, it's been 10 years. We've already got other characters doing other things, and it's like the comics. We need fresh actors to get young kids into these things. You know what I mean? I hate bringing it up, but like every iteration of Turtles I hate on. And then I watch it, I'm like, it was good. I loved it. You know what I mean? I think X-Men's one of those things you can't really hate it.
I know we can't hate it, but sometimes these guys, and this is something that I think I brought up last week, because I didn't want people to think that we, like you and me, always talk about this, which we try not to hate on so much, like the newest movies or the new style of whatever it is, because we talk about, look, if it's good writing, you've got us. You got us for sure. Like, did you see the new Superman?
Yeah.
What did you think?
It was good. It was amazing.
It was really good, wasn't it?
And as a comic book fan, it's everything you want a comic book adaptation to be. It's fun, it's quirky, it's bright, it's colorful, it's superheroes over the top, like you're not getting the entire like, oh my god, I flew from Krypton as a baby. Like you get bits and pieces of it in a flashback, but
Mhm.
you're dropping into like year 3 Superman doing his thing.
And that's what I liked about that was it. We didn't have to watch everything all over again. We got to read it, and it just was like, this is what happened. Then so many years later, this happened, and then now here we are, so many years after that, and go, and we were running.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what they want to do with this reboot, how they want to take care of this or treat this, because I don't think we need a full on, like, honest to God, like reboot year one creation with X-Men. That's what I think.
I think I think if they go in the direction kind of like what they did with the first X-Men, right? We fall in on the Wolverine Rogue crossing paths, and then they kind of just fall into the X-Men and kind of continue. If they do something similar to that, but pick a new group of characters to roll with, like I would love to see how Gambit becomes a part of the X-Men when everyone exists and he's coming from the the band like the bandits that he's part of before he becomes an X-Men. You know, he's a master thief.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see that little bit of backstory leading into this brand new X-Men world with beautiful costumes, good people in the thing, and some really good writing.
Well, so here's what so far they've said that they're starting to cast. This is for the major roles. So right now they're casting for Rogue or for Cyclops, Rogue, Kitty Pryde, Mystique, Storm, and Mr. Sinister.
See, and that's what gives me this like ray of hope that we're gonna get like a young Gambit, because Mr. Sinister plays a pretty hefty role in what he does, you know?
Yeah, he does. But it's nice to hear a different villain that could possibly be coming out to kick off this particular iteration of X-Men compared to getting the standard. It's going to be Magneto, which, don't get me wrong, it'd be nice to see a new Magneto, but Mr. Sinister is, like you said, this could take us into, because we've already seen a version of Gambit, which was Channing Tatum, which killed it. We may see a lot more with this particular movie, but like some of the people that they're saying that are kind of in the running right now, I don't know, man. Did you see the list?
Yeah, I was actually looking at it as we've been kind of discussing it all.
Mm-hmm.
Javier Bardem as freaking Mr. Sinister sounds pretty good, man.
Yeah, I could see that. That would work.
I mean, and the cool thing with Mr. Sinister is anyone could do it. You just got to give them that ashy white skin.
Mm-hmm.
And really, it doesn't have to be anybody. It doesn't have to be a white guy. It doesn't have to be a black dude. It doesn't have to be a Mexican dude. Like, it could just be anyone who can nail that roll down. They're going to be in makeup anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they're going to make his face, that pointy nose and those sharp teeth. They're going to look different no matter who it is. But if they could pull off that vibe of just who he was and what we got out of the comics and out of the cartoon, it works. Margaret Quinley or Qualley? I don't know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah, Margaret Qualley, Harris Dickinson, and Julia Butters. I don't even know who they are, man. Like, I don't know those actors at all. But that's a good thing. I think casting some unknown people is great because, I mean, I didn't really know who James Marsden was before he played Cyclops.
Yeah, that's true. He really hadn't done much up until that point, and then all of a sudden, he blew up because of his role as Cyclops. So they're saying that Kevin Feige kind of teased that it's going to be a youth-focused direction, aims for a coming-of-age tone, spotlighting younger mutants, discovering their powers, and navigating the world. That's the part that I'm kind of like,
I mean, yes, I see why you're hesitant about it, but like I said, if you make it a group of kids who have been together since they were 11 or 12, and maybe they're 16, 17 now, but they've got 6 years of experience as X-Men, and then you bring in some new kids to intermingle with them, and they're the ones who are kind of filling out their powers. I think that would be cool. Best example of that, Hugh Jackman.
Did my mic just go out?
No, I hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, good example is Hugh Jackman when he dropped in and they were kids. And if we're looking at obviously X-Men #1, that's about the age that they were in that comic. They were kind of like in their later teens, early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Again, it's writing. Writing is what usually gets at least me. If it's good writing, then I'm going to go see it.
Yep.
So,
well, I mean, it looks like they've tagged the director from the Thunderbolts so far. He's in talks.
you know what, I haven't seen Thunderbolts. Did you see it?
I haven't seen anything, dude. Like Superman's the most recent film I watched, and before that, Transformers 1.
That was actually pretty good. But isn't that one already streaming, or it's going to be streaming soon?
Thunderbolts, I think, is about to stream, or
okay,
I could be wrong.
So, I mean, and this is something I've been doing since you've been gone, man. But I've been doing some final thoughts at the end of each one. I typed it up, like legit. I typed. There was some help in it, but I typed it. I retyped it. So don't get on me, all right? But the X-Men arrive in the MCU isn't just a reboot. It's a reintroduction of mutant kind on a grand modern scale, with a focus on younger heroes, emotional complexity, and fresh creative team. This could be one of the most important MCU films of the next era. Do you think that to be true, David?
I think it could be. I think I think that because X-Men is such a cornerstone of Marvel, that it really could be a huge monument or a milestone for the MCU to go forward. Because right now we've lost all of our Avengers. It's like one or two of them are returning, and the rest are all new kids. Like I said, I don't know. It's time for a new team that's gonna like drive the MCU forward. And I think the Avengers had their time. The new Avengers will have their place, but I think we need the X-Men to push forward and like drive Marvel, just like they do in the comic books. Like, how many different Marvel books are there out there right now?
Too many.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But hey, you know what? In the words of Stan Lee, where I'm going to say, stay tuned, true believers, with this. But we're moving on to the next story, which is, did you hear about this? Sony purchasing Bandai Namco, and they purchased it. It wasn't like a huge amount of money that they purchased it for, but did you hear about this?
I did not.
Dude, they bought them for $464 million. And I know to most people out there that's a lot of money, and even to us because we're poor. But $464 million to purchase a company like Bandai is like Sony doing. It's like a drop in the bucket. Didn't cost them much, but it was to be able to get I guess you could say, anime and gaming worlds. Now they're colliding with this purchase. But Sony has acquired 16 million shares of Elden Ring and the Tekken publisher Bandai Namco. So I think 16 million shares would be the whole company, almost the whole company.
I don't know. Bandai Namco's been around for a long time. They've got a lot more games than just Tekken and Elden Ring. Like every single Dragon Ball game that's out is all Bandai Namco. The Naruto games that have been coming out, all of that kind of falls under their purview. I think really what this is it's a boost for Bandai because Sony has a lot bigger budget to put out towards games, and it also is it's kind of like a double-edged sword because we could be losing those cross-platform games now that Sony owns Bandai Namco because they could all become Sony exclusives or PlayStation exclusives.
Well, I know that. So according to and it wasn't just one article that I found, it was actually a couple that were talking about. Yeah, you're right. So Bandai Namco does have a lot of other IPs, and this was a chance for Sony to be able to cash in on what's going on as far as like the whole manga craze, the whole anime craze, and be able to help Bandai, even though it has been around forever, get a broader reach. So, I mean, I think this is a good thing or a good move for Sony as far as purchasing something like this, because now they've taken all the ones that you just mentioned and put them under one umbrella.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the article, I see like Toshimoto Mitomo, he's chief strategy officer at Sony, said that through this partnership, we aim to co-create an array of content and experiences that exceed expectations and deliver kondo, which is emotion, to even more fans. So it sounds like they're not trying to bogart and make it a PlayStation exclusive, but more just throw some more money at these projects so that they get a better creative direction. Which I'm all for it. I play every single Bandai Namco game that comes out, even though they all look like Pokemon. They all look like PlayStation 2 graphics, just upgraded. They're just upscaled good games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even Namco, their vice president was like, dude, using their money and their strength and their technological capabilities, they're going to be able to boost the IPs that they own, you know? So yeah. I don't think they bought a controlling share. It sounds like they bought like, maybe it's like a 60-40 thing where Sony owns like 40% now.
Yeah, I don't know what the 16 million shares, what it comes out to, but you're right. I mean, they could have just bought enough to help control or help boost up what's already there. Hey, Mike, what's going on? He says over Mike, if you guys don't remember Mike, that's Chicano Batman. He was with us for a while. He says that he'll keep an eye out for EJO this weekend and tell him to check out the show if he's there. Who's the EJO? Remind us. And what is going on? Mendoza. He's over there on Instagram also. So, yeah, I mean, if you think about this, why is this like a power move? So Sony already dominates in gaming, which is PlayStation Anime, Crunchyroll and Funimation, and film TV productions. Bandai Namco brings powerhouse IPs like you had already mentioned, obviously Dragon Ball, One Piece, Gundam, Naruto, Tekken, and so many other things. So this could actually be a really... Huh?
I think they do Persona as well. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I know isn't there a Bandai Namco like corporate building down by Los Al?
Maybe. I don't know. I think so.
I think I've seen that there. But so, like, the final thoughts on this, this isn't just a stock acquisition. I got to start using smaller words. Acquisition. It's the beginning of a mega merger of fandoms with Sony and Bandai teaming up. We could be looking at the future of anime game convergence, like you were saying. This could boost what they already have as far as great games, but just to make them look even better and probably a smoother gameplay.
And what you didn't see, but I had it up on the screen, James was saying, like, not only are they buying into buying into this product, they're also kind of solidifying their rights to those IPs when movie deals happen, when the streamers start doing their thing with those games. You know what I mean? Sony's going to get a small portion of all of that.
Yeah.
But if Sony does these anime tie-ins, like anything like they did with Into the Spider-Verse, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, it's giving them a lot more power to be able to do a lot more, unless we end up getting another Dragon Ball movie that looked like the last Dragon Ball Evolution.
I don't think that was Sony, was it?
No, it was not. So that's why it's like, well, now Sony can actually take it and create something maybe even better. And we can probably start seeing real, well done live action movies. But who knows? We'll see. All right, moving on from this story to the next one, which is Charlie Cox got himself in a little bit of a, I don't want to say it's a pickle, but somebody had mentioned that he had said in an interview, and this was like months ago apparently, and he's now just barely, and there goes my light. He was saying that season 2 of Born Again was going to be the final season. And he got into a little hot water for saying that, but he says he came back, and actually it was D'Onofrio that actually came, and he was trying to tell everybody, no, we're actually going to have a third season, and we don't know how many seasons we're going to do, but we are coming back for a third season. And I don't know why they didn't want to listen to the Kingpin, but then Charlie Cox went on to, I forgot what show it was. It was For the Love of Fantasy, or it was at the For the Love of Fantasy convention in London. Cox was asked directly, is season 2 the final season? He says, no. He said confidently, then added, I do not believe so. Did you watch Born Again?
I have not, man. Told you I haven't been watching anything.
Oh my God, dude. So it's actually really good. I didn't get to finish it yet, but it's really good. You got to check it out. And season 2 is confirmed in development right now. No official green light yet for season 3, but Cox and D'Onofrio don't expect to end here. This thing actually got a lot of hype. It was actually a really good show. It was done really well, even though it was a Disney Plus show now instead of it being Netflix. I mean, you've seen the original Daredevil, right?
Yep.
And it was great.
Yep. Ben Affleck.
I hate it.
Amazing.
Huh?
What? Huh?
Freaking Ben Affleck in his, what was it? His they call that chamber that he goes and lays in the.
I don't even remember.
It was like it cut off all sound and everything. He goes in, and this is what got me. Okay, Charlie Cox is supposed to be poor, right? Because he's doing everything pro bono when it comes to a lot of his cases.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be superhero cases.
Either superhero cases or just he's trying to help people out in Hell's Kitchen, period. Because that's where he does all his work. How did he get the money to get, like, if you watch the Daredevil movie with Affleck, where do you get that money from? To have a nice apartment, to have a sound deprivation chamber. I mean,
he's married to J-Lo, dude.
Oh, you're right.
Do what he wants. I think it got a lot of traction, and there was a huge story about this, but it could just be that he let it slip that Born Again is ending and Daredevil's going to continue with a different tagline. You know what I mean? Like maybe he just slipped up a little bit, you know, like everybody in Marvel does, and they all end up in hot water.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the Marvel movies, which is weird because we're seeing a lot of like photos that are now coming out for the new Spider-Man movie. Like they're letting everything kind of slip out, and you're seeing more and more stuff with Tom Holland in the suit now, and all kinds of stunts going on there at wherever they're filming. So,
but why?
I don't know. That's the thing
They
that
did it
gets
with
me.
Superman.
Huh?
Because Superman did it. Superman let out a lot of behind the scenes shots and a lot of, pre pumped up corn sweat and no digital effects corn sweat and baggy suit corn sweat and, all these things. And it got you talking about the movie, whether it looked good or you thought it looked bad. And then when you went to watch the movie, you were like, holy shit, this shit looks good. It's amazing. I think it's more of it's a bait and switch. They're dropping little things that aren't super big to the story just to keep us like breadcrumbs.
Yeah, I guess. But because when you think about Marvel, how hush hush have they been for so many things like Avengers, Doomsday? We
Yeah.
still don't know really what's going on. If you didn't see Fantastic Four, which I didn't see it, I don't know if I'm gonna see it. Maybe if it.
I'll watch Touchy Feely Pedro in it.
Hey, dude, some of those interviews where Homegirl is just like right up there. It's like, isn't she married?
I'm thinking to myself, which one of you has anxiety? Holy crap!
Yeah, no kidding.
He might initiate because he's got anxiety or whatever, but they get super close in some of those interviews, dude.
Yeah, real close. It's like, all right.
It's like somebody needs to put a Mando helmet on that guy. Keep him away from women.
But so, guys, we don't know much about season 2. If you haven't seen season 1 of freaking Daredevil, go back, check it out. It is all on Disney Plus. It is great. And you're right. It could be that we're seeing the end of Daredevil Reborn, and the next iteration is going to be Daredevil. Because who knows?
Disney's Daredevil.
Whatever.
That sounds so super mega hero gay.
Yeah. Honestly, you know what? Never mind. I don't want to hear that. Just triple D. What?
The mouse of double D's.
No, dude, we're not talking. Okay, let's just stop. Let's stop before we go down that path that we don't want to talk. We're going to get banned. We're actually holding strong with five watchers right now, so we don't want to lose them. And thanks, guys. If you guys are out there, you're watching. Instead of just seeing a lot of James, if you guys are on YouTube, hey, type in, say what's up, say hi. If you guys got comments, come on. Throw them in there. We do read them all. David, now that David's back, they are going to all be read. Because I don't have these on, so I can't see what's going on. I do that on purpose. No, I'm kidding. But my final thought on this, Charlie Cox isn't hanging up the horns just yet. While Marvel plans for a third season, it hasn't been made official, but the passion of both Cox and D'Onofrio. This story is going all bad.
You have a passion of Cox, I'll tell you what.
Oh, dude. I know nobody else is going to get that. Never mind. I'm not going to say anything. Nobody else is going to get it if I said it, but
James knows what's up.
James knows. He knows about that. We were talking about Triple D, Cax, Corn Sweat, and come on.
Cornhole Sweat.
Dude, you can't, think about this. We are getting, let's see, there we go. We're getting Superman, whose name was Corn Sweat, and we're getting Supergirl, who is
all cock.
I'm on board for that movie too now. Supergirl comes out. I'm on board.
So I know I've been gone for a long time, and I know we've got one more segment we're going to jump into. Mm-hmm. But what are your honest thoughts on Superman?
My honest thoughts on Superman, I actually really liked it. what I loved about it was James Gunn, and he is known obviously for this, and he does a great job of this. And that's him going and digging into the trash can, pulling out that turd, polishing it off, and then turning it into gold. And he did that with Superman, because there were moments in Superman that it kind of got to me when I would hear the music, the original bum 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 bum, and it wasn't like bam blasting in your face, but it had an emotional feel to it, and it almost became part of like a character in the movie itself.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I was neither here nor there in the movie. Didn't care whether I watched it in theaters or if I waited till it went streaming or if I pirated it while I was on the 60-day orders, because I was like this close to doing so. I was just gonna download it and watch it. And then my son, my oldest, was like, "Dad, when you get back, let's go watch the movie, like all of us." And I was like, "All right, I'll wait. I don't mind." So I told my homie, like, "Hey, you can download it if you want, but I'm not gonna watch it." So I get to the movies, and what I loved about the movie was all the tiny little callbacks to the original Superman. And like, I know my wife and my kids didn't get them. They didn't see those things, but like the intro to the movie, the red and blue in the background and the letters being one color and the background being another, like the music playing over that. I was like, dude, I'm watching Richard Donner and Chris Reeves, and I'm watching the original Superman right now. Yep. Then we drop into the Daily Planet, which, holy crap, Metropolis looks just like it should.
Yes.
Then you drop into the Daily Planet, and the first frame you see of Lois Lane, she's dressed exactly like Margot Kidder from Superman. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Those little things made me like, oh my God, dude, they're really paying homage to every little nuance of the original Supermans across the way. And then it was well written. It was well shot. The cinematics were amazing. The colors were amazing. The suit looked better on screen than it did in the stills or the behind the scenes shots. Like, even the random like bad guys that they used in the movie, like the engineer and the hammer of whatever the fuck that place was called. Yeah, Hammer Bernstein Bears or something, whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, and then there was super, like, those of you who knew, like, oh, that guy's got a U on his chest. Who the fuck else is that? You know what I mean? You know automatically. If you know that that's Ultraman, and you know that that's just another version of Superman. Mm-hmm. So it was really cool because, like, those of us who knew it are like, oh my God, I can't wait till this happens. And those of us who didn't know were like, damn, I can't wait to figure out who's underneath that mask, So I thought it was really good, man. Like, and then just in true James Gunn fashion, he chooses really good music to accompany this movie, So you get these little nuanced like pop culture songs that are just plugged into a great movie. So
like I said, he did it again. James Gunn just took it, ran with it, and created something that was amazing. And you know what I did? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, unlike Guardians, it wasn't like some polished turd. Like, I mean, Superman's been a big thing forever. But
I know. But
he definitely brought it back to shiny.
Exactly. It was like, I know that the Man of Steel is still being like brought up, and Man of Steel is still, I think, is a little bit ahead of what this movie did as far as money wise, but I'm 100% on board with this movie, and I'm 100% on board with Corn Sweat. And did you notice when he was flying through the air and when he actually brought his hands forward, that the costume opened up and it made him look a little bit bigger? I was like, nobody's ever addressed that. Like, as he's flying through the air, why would he bring his hands back? And that speeds him up, and it's because it made him more aerodynamic because it's not going through his suit. Little things like that was like, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. So, and then of course, Mr. Terrific was great. Like, oh yeah, freaking outstanding. Mr. Terrific was amazing, and I feel really bad that he got killed off in X-Men First Class as the only character who shouldn't die and then came back to play Mr. Terrific because he did an amazing job.
He did.
I still wish they would have gave Guy a different haircut because I hated the bowl cut. But he did amazing too.
But I like that they brought that up in the movie. They talked about his haircut. And that was great. It was, all in all, it was a great movie. Now you've got me wanting to go, when I get back to my room, to stream the movie again, because I could actually stream it. So I'm actually, it was really good. All in all, it was awesome. But we are going to close out this segment of So that is the Geek News. And we're going to move into our next segment so we can get through it, which is this week in Geek History. We are going to be talking about, and I should have waited. Let's do this. There we go. Before I bring it back up. We are actually going to be talking about, since we were already talking about some X-Men, we're going to be talking about some more X-Men and actually a little bit history about the X-Men. And I found a list, and let's see if we both agree on this order that I found. And I didn't change it. I took the list as is because I'm like, let's see what David has to say about this too, because I wasn't 100% with the order of it, and I wish I would have done the
We would have been struck for copyright infringement
if we let it play on its own. That's the difference. If I would have been talking over it saying, welcome to the Geek History, the danger room of deep dive geek knowledge. Today we're diving into Marvel's most iconic mutant team, the X-Men. From outcasts to cultural icons, the X-Men have stood for more than just flashy powers. They represent identity, acceptance, and evolution. So, with that, we're going to dive into this with 10 of the most legendary X-Men characters, along with some quick history of how each of them became central to the saga of mutant kind. So if I would have done that over the song, we wouldn't have been hit. There's
a lo-fi version of the X-Men song.
Oh, really?
If you've never heard it,
no.
It's freaking good.
Oh, man, I got to check that out.
I'll send it to you. I have it on a playlist somewhere.
What's going on, Ricky? Senor Redbeard? I haven't seen you in a while. All right, so we're going to start this thing off with adding it to the stage, and we moved from stage, add to the stage. Number 1, which is Wolverine. Yay or nay?
Is he number 1?
Do you think,
or is he
number
or
1?
is he number 10?
He's number 1. So we're going as number 1 is the top, obviously. 10 is going to be the last.
So we're going 1 to 10. Okay.
Yes.
I think for me that's a freaking no-brainer. I love Wolverine. I think he ties the whole team together, and kind of like he's the big protector, but he's also like only the protector because he doesn't want any of his friends to get hurt because it took him so long to find people he gels with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's kind of like everything the X-Men's supposed to be, rolled up into this little 5'3" ball of 500 pounds. You know, go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say because you're pretty close to his height.
Well, yes, that too. But it's because when you think about it, like the time he grew up, people weren't different. You were the same or you were not. Mm-hmm. He develops his powers at a very young age. He lives freaking like a century before he becomes a freaking X-Men. And then he goes through all these crazy experiments. He is an outcast at all times, everywhere he goes. I don't know. I think he just kind of like embodies what the X-Men are. So I'm kind of good with him being number 1.
Yeah, and he is like you said, he's always been the outcast, and it's almost like or I want to say he is the heart. Even though he seems like he hates everybody, he is truly the heart of the X-Men. His first appearance was in the Incredible Hulk number 180, and also in actually number 181, which I actually had 180, and that was from back in 1974. I wasn't born then, just so we can put this out there before you even say something, David. A friend of mine actually got it for me for my birthday when I was a kid, and that was the greatest thing I had gotten up until that point. He was created by Ron Thomas, Lin Win, and of course Romita
John Romita Jr. or John Romita.
Senior. John Romita Senior was the one that actually created him.
Mhm.
So he's had quite a few different iterations as far as how we've seen him. And obviously, I put a picture up of kind of the change of the Wolverine from being the Wolverine to becoming Wolverine, Weapon X, and so on. And of course, we all know who portrayed him, but I think we should have actually had Cavalry. That's just my thought.
Ah, I mean, ah. Like I said, I think we need someone because being little is such a big part of who he is. I really do think we need to find someone who's tiny because it really it adds to why he's called Runt, why he is who he is,
Mhm.
why he has to be the biggest, strongest, baddest character out there because his stature says he's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
he's 5'3".
it's like we've spoke about this before, but he stinks. He's pungent.
Mhm.
You know, he's got this like gamey smell to him because he's just been around forever. You know, he's animalistic. He's got a pungentness to him, but it adds to why people kind of keep him at arm's length because he stinks. But it also makes it super more like that much more endearing when he does wear that bright yellow costume to take the flak so his teammates don't get injured. So he draws attention on the battlefield. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, like I said, I just think because of what it adds to the character is why we need someone that small. I don't have any problems with the way Henry Cavill looked as Wolverine. He looked great. I don't have any problems with Hugh Jackman's fucking 20 years of portraying him because he looked amazing, all of it. And he did really well, you know. I just think that, like I said, it adds to who the character is. It's like Puck. You can't take Puck and make him 6'9" because then he's not a Puck. He's a fucking deep dish pizza. Like I don't know what he would be after that.
Yeah, you're right. But so we'll see who they decide to put into this role next if they do bring back Wolverine. But moving on to the next one, which is number 2, Storm, Miss Aurora. She's Aurora Monroe.
I think number 2. I think she could be number 1 interchangeably with anybody. Just because she really is like, even though she's not a what do they call them? She's not a category 5 mutant,
She's
but
like a 3.
yeah, but she is like she's you think of X-Men, you think of her, you think of Jean Grey. You know what I mean? Those are the 2 females that come to mind immediately.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I think 2 is a good spot for her, but yeah, she's definitely she's a goddess in her own right, and they bring that up a lot in the comic books, which is why Black Panther sought after her to become his wife. You know what I mean? And they get married eventually. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for her. But like I said, she could be easily number 1 if another person made this list.
Yeah, because she does bring to the team leadership also on top of it. Even though Scott was the leader, and we always see that, she has got a lot. She's pretty damn strong. She's a damn strong woman in the comics. And her first appearance was actually in Giant Size X-Men number 1, which is in 1975. So her appearance came after Wolverine, but she was right away she dove into the X-Men team. She was also created by Lin Win, and Dave, you're going to love this name, David. Dave Cockrum.
Cockrum. Yeah, Dave Cockrum and Len Wein.
Len Wein. Len Wein. So yeah, I mean, like you said, she controls the weather. She's called a goddess, even though she is a mutant. And that's the one thing that I do like about, obviously, and we've talked about this before, the differences between DC and Marvel. DC calls their people or their metahumans gods, and a lot of them are from other planets and literally other dimensions, which can be deemed as if they're gods. Whereas Marvel, she may be called a weather controlling goddess, but she's a human who just mutated. So I do like that. And of course, she does later on become the leader of the X-Men. And like you said, she marries Black Panther in the comics. So here's a little fun fact. She was the first Black woman superhero in mainstream America comics. I don't know if you knew that. I didn't know that.
And the best thing about her is she's not like Black woman American. She is from Africa, Black, you know what I mean? So that's like the coolest thing about her is like, it's not like, oh, we'll just take this Americanized woman, call her the first Black woman. Like, no, she is straight up from Africa and then brought to Charles's school and become a huge part of the X-Men.
Yeah, I mean, she was from Kenya and raised in Cairo, so that's why they didn't say she was the first African American. She was the first Black woman because where she came from. So yeah, respectably, she's in number 2, but she could easily be up there as number 1 along with Wolverine. So next we've got the first leader of the X-Men, which is Cyclops, Scott Summers. What is your take?
I think top 5 X-Men, Cyclops should be in it. Like you said, he's the first leader. He's got the most charisma. He's got the most drive. He's the Leonardo of the group. He's got that, like, it's on my shoulders because you put it there. I have to carry this. I have to carry this burden now. And he lets it slip every now and then, and he doesn't want to lead, and he would like to run away with Jean and just create a family sometimes. But they are his family, so he sticks around and he continues to go forward. I never was a huge fan of Cyclops as a kid, but credit to who Cyclops is, because I don't know what I would do if I was a kid who shot freaking interdimensional blast from my eyeballs.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the comics and you look through it, obviously he was the first leader of the X-Men, and then when Wolverine came in, they clashed, and he would always call him a Boy Scout because Scott was very like, it's the leadership attitude, it's the morals, it's all this stuff, whereas Wolverine was the rebellious attitude. He was the contrast to him. So I don't know. I've never really been like a huge fan of Cyclops. I get it. He is the leader of the team and has been from the beginning, but he's an all right character. And his optic blasts are powered by solar energy stored in his body. Did you know that?
Which is weird. I could have, I don't know, maybe I'm misreading, but I could have swore somewhere in my life I read that it was his eyes are a portal to an interdimensional like realm that shoot, and it's like an I forgot how to say it. It's not a laser beam. It's like a physical. It's a physical light or blast, or that's why I was going to bring up the coolest thing about X-Men 97 made Cyclops freaking cool because he jumps out of the Quinjet, he's falling, and he's like, you grab him, don't worry about me. And then he uses his laser beams to lower himself onto the ground. And then we get the iconic, to me, my X-Men. And it's freaking cool, man. Like that made me think, oh, this Cyclops is actually pretty dope.
I mean, I like the later iterations of his costume. Like the one that's right there is actually during the 90s. I like that. the blue yellow one. But and the other pictures right there, obviously the very first one was, or the one in the middle is the very first Cyclops that had come out, and then the one furthest over to the left is actually 70s version of Cyclops. So when the costumes changed one more time. But his first appearance was obviously in X-Men #1 back in 1963. Stanley and Jack Kirby, all hail, were the creators of obviously the X-Men, and the story behind the whole X-Men was, I mean, it was during like the clash of the races back then. So this is their way of talking about it, was using the X-Men.
Segregation, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right, moving on to the next one, which is Jean Grey, Marvel Girl / the Dark Phoenix, or just Phoenix. Putting her in here at number 4.
I'm not against it. I think in terms of like coolness, I'd put her at a 4, but that's only because she always kind of sits in the background. She's more like Professor X's right hand. She's the legs he doesn't have. You know, she does more for the team in the background, and through her telepathic abilities, I think her usefulness on the battlefield isn't as great as the other 3 characters that we've already covered. But she is a founding member of the X-Men because she was one of Charles's first students. So for her to not be in the top 5 would be a travesty.
I'd probably put her more in the middle of the pack because of, like you said, yes, she is like basically the legs of Charles. She is kind of more the emotions of the team. She's she's there for Scott. She's there for Logan, you know, that whole love triangle thing. But she is pretty damn powerful. But again, she's like the tank of the group, where she'll shield up everybody and protect them that way, or she'll plow through things with the telekinesis and or her telepathic powers. But as far as who she is, I would put her down more at 5 than at 4. I might move the one that is coming up to her spot instead of her. But her first appearance was also in X-Men #1 in 1963. And again, it was Stanley and Jack Kirby's writing and idea for her also. So,
yeah.
What?
I was going to say, it's because of the way we feel about the character. That's part of the reason she was given the Phoenix Force later in comics, was because she was kind of slipping out of popularity. Mm-hmm. So they gave her that Phoenix Force. And now, I mean, once you add the Phoenix Force, Jean Grey's an Omega level mutant. It's talked about everywhere. She's an Omega level threat. But then she becomes a freaking powerhouse, and she can, you know, handle the entire X-Men team by herself.
Yeah.
But predating the Phoenix, she's more of a background character.
And that's something that little tidbits that they put in here, which was that prior to that, Jean's connection to the Phoenix Force transformed her into one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe. And also that story arc, the Dark Phoenix Saga, is one of the most influential in comic books. So, and she was actually the first female member of the X-Men, which you already mentioned too. So, yeah, I guess we can leave her at number 4. But we move on to the next one, which is Professor X. How can you put Jean Grey over Professor X?
I mean, in a foot race, one can't keep up. No, I'm just playing.
And we just lost all our viewers.
I would say the fact that he's the leader, he's the brains behind the operation. He's kind of like the money bag. You know what I mean? You don't put the money up front. You put your heavy hitters up front. We see it all the time. You've got all of the X-Men team, Professor X sits in the back. The Magneto Brotherhood of Mutants, they send out all the heavy hitters. You always see the Blob, you always see Toad, you see Pyro. They always come out first. Avalanche, if you remember him from back in the day, they come out first, and then Magneto will kind of like make a presence, do his little monologue, and then F you, Charles, I'm out, old friend. Boom, and then he takes off like we'll play canasta later.
It's no, it's not. It's Manja. Maja.
No, they don't play mahjong, bro. They're both based on Jews. They
Oh.
play canasta.
Damn, sorry.
But you know what I mean? Like I think putting him at 5 is a good spot because one, he is powerful. He could be number 1 if he really wanted to, but he's not a heavy hitter. He doesn't do all that. He could easily mind control half the freaking population, and the X-Men never have to go out there. But he wants the X-Men to be a force for good, and he wants them to be seen as heroes. So he doesn't use his powers to manipulate the situations. I think his biggest thing is bringing these people together. So I think 5's a good spot for him. I think any lower would be disrespectful.
Yeah.
I feel bad though because 5 spots isn't enough for Beast to fit in.
Well, you're right. Yeah, but so his first appearance was in obviously X-Men #1. Again, Stan Lee and Kirby created him, and so here's a fun fact which I didn't even know, which was it's actually really cool. So Xavier's character was inspired part by Martin Luther King Jr.'s because Xavier's dream of peace, and then the contrast with Magneto, more militant approach. So hearing this now, reading this, gives you a little bit more of an insight of really what they were thinking when they created the X-Men comic books. If Xavier was to be the Martin Luther King wanting the peace, and Magneto was more of, I guess
Malcolm
you
X.
could say Malcolm X. Yeah. That militant approach to things. Now that when you guys go and read the original X-Men, or even just read them now, you can see, you'll start to get what Lee and Kirby were trying to do with that comic book without shoving it in your face.
And if he is supposed to be king, the only way to stop King would to make him paraplegic because you can't march if you don't have feet.
There you go. But he got a freaking hover.
Hey, the hoverboard came later, bro.
Oh, sorry. So there's not a 1,000,000-man march. He can't even march. Oh, that's jacked up. We're wrong.
I do what I can.
All right. Next, we've got number 6. Speaking of Magneto, Eric Lensher, Max.
Eric Lensher.
Well, yeah.
I'd say not an X-Men, doesn't belong on the list.
But no, he did become an X-Men, and he was leading them, and we spoke about it in the news story about.
I'm not saying he doesn't become an X-Men. It's like Emma Frost. She eventually becomes an X-Men.
Yeah.
But if I was going to rank X-Men, it would be people who were created and went straight onto the thing. I would say 6 is all right, but I'd probably put him at like 11 out of 10 just because he's not an X-Men character originally. He is the antagonist. In terms of coolness, ability, things that he can do, like if he was an X-Men, he'd be fucking number 1, dude. Like I'd put him over Wolverine.
Well, I mean, how many times have we seen him actually be able to pin Wolverine down and even take all the adamantium straight out of Wolverine?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But not only that, his backstory, dude, like dealing with the Nazis, having to grow up in that era, and then turning around and becoming this really cool, like force for the people. He's like the epitome of like perspective, right? He's not evil. The world's evil. Where Charles is, I'm here to combat the evils of the world, not good or bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So he made his first appearance also, and he was the first of the villains that the X-Men had actually faced in X-Men #1. Again, were Stanley and Kirby, the gods of the comics. So, fun fact: Magneto has led the X-Men on several occasions in the comic books. So, yeah, he's done it a couple times. We've seen it. We've talked about it. There you go. He was an X-Men. But yeah, we'll put him at 6. But like you said, he could be moved up had he been an X-Men from the beginning. All right, moving on to the next one, which is the Nightcrawler, Kurt Wagner.
Bro, yeah, definitely belongs on the list. No matter where you put him, he's freaking cool, man. Like he's got this crazy aura about him. The blue and black, the red, the tail, the freaking 3 fingers, 3 toes, like everything about him is cool. Like he just looks really cool. In the comics, we get really cool stories with him in it, and like really cool action sequences, and a lot of cool backstory. But in the movies, we don't get much, just because I don't think there's a lot of draw from the audience for him. But dude, their version of him in X2 was freaking amazing.
He was actually really cool, and that was played by what's his
Paul
name?
Rubin. I'm just playing.
Although Paul Rubin would have been actually a really good Nightcrawler.
He kind of looks the same. They look similar.
But I put a picture of him right here. I can't remember the actor's name now.
He's the same dude from Spy Kids, right?
Yeah, he was the bad guy in Spy Kids. God, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Oh well. I don't mean oh well, but oh wait, who's saying what here?
Cheap views on Stream Boo.
Oh, right on. Yeah. So with this character, so he had you mentioned the three toes, the 3 fingers. He had like a demonic appearance, and he was a devout Catholic, if you remember that in the comic books. And Nightcrawler also brought a lot of heart and humor, and even, sometimes some philosophy to the team's dynamics when he actually spoke. And we had a lot of great moments in the comic books themselves. And we also have to remember that he was the son of Mystique and the mutant warlord Azazel. In the comic, Azazel.
Yeah. Alan Cummings' portrayal of him is really
there
good.
we
That's
go.
good.
Alan Cummings.
But
Alan.
Him, Beast, Mystique, they all suffer from the same thing, right? No one knows they're mutants. Like the rest of the team, no one knows they're mutants until shit happens and they have to do mutant things. Where Nightcrawler, Mystique, Beast, they wear it all day, every day. They can't turn it off. And they're like the epitome of what the X-Men are supposed to represent. Because just like during segregation, people of color couldn't turn off the fact that they look different from everywhere else. And it was the thing that drew people in. And like, oh, I can connect with him because they can't turn it off. They can't make themselves look differently. So yeah, I think if he wasn't on the list, it would be a crime, dude. So
yeah, no. Even when I saw the list and I saw that he was on there, I was like, okay, this list is. I probably would have moved him up ahead of like Magneto, but he's on it. Almost at the bottom, but he's on it.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like when we start strong with Wolverine at the top, who's also not an original X-Men, it makes it hard because like then you see characters that are like they were made for the X-Men, and you're like, dude, that guy should have been a little higher. But yeah. I'm biased, and I like Wolverine, and I'm cool with him being number 1. So
same here. So next we've got Rogue Anne-Marie.
Number 8, right?
Yep, she's at number 8.
If I had to move things around and like say bumped Wolverine, bumped Magneto, I'd say her and Nightcrawler definitely deserve to be in the top 5 or 6 spots. Her backstory is really cool, like stealing her powers from Marvel Girl. That's a really cool like thing. She's a solid character, man. She was the first female character to be a tank like to
Yeah.
be that brute force on a team when everyone expected it to be someone like Beast. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it was really cool because it gave girls someone who could be like, dude, that character's strong. I want to be all about that. Like, yeah. Yeah. If she wasn't on the list, it'd be crazy.
Well, the only thing I could say about her character is I haven't liked some of the iterations that they like the way she looks, and it kind of deters from who she is. I think, like her original look, which is this with her wearing the, and even here, it's that picture is actually from X-Men the cartoon,
Mm-hmm.
where she's wearing a green jacket, where she actually originally started out with a brown leather jacket, but it's neither here or there. But she is, like you said, a tank for the team themselves. She first appeared in Avengers Annual number 10 in 81, but in that original one, she was actually a villain and was part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. And like you
Mm-hmm.
said, she got her powers from, she permanently absorbed Miss Marvel's powers, and that's what gave her the strength and the ability to fly. So, yeah, I would have put her down closer to like probably 5 and bumped like Magneto, Professor X, and even Jean to like 6, and then brought in Nightcrawler ahead of Rogue and top out the 5, and maybe even move Scott a couple of spots and shift down, because she is powerful, and like you said, she gives like girls something to look at and say like, damn, that chick is strong. She can do a lot.
And yeah, I think the what you were saying earlier, like the iterations of her downplaying uh, the curves, because that's really what they've done. They've kind of later made her less curvy over time.
Yeah.
It takes away from who she is because she's supposed to be this strong looking, good looking, like just everything women can be. You can still wear makeup, look good, be strong, and fight fights and all that stuff. She's supposed to be that, I guess, stereotype or that trope that people should look towards. And they've slowly like downplayed how she looks, made her more of a goth character here and there sometimes. And it kind of takes away from that whole like uh, I I can attain that if I just work hard. I
Well,
can
it's
be
also
strong.
it's the a beautiful woman can't be strong. And it's like, no, they could, they are. You don't have to be, you don't have to look like, you don't have to look masculine or downplay your who you are, what you look like to be strong. You can be exactly Rogue and be a strong woman. So, you know, I don't know.
And she came around in the 80s, which is
Yeah,
when womanhood was becoming a big strong thing. And obviously Stanley was like, I got a character for that. Let's portray women as strong, beautiful, good looking, but still
feminine.
essential to who they are and still
Yeah,
feminine. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely move her down from this spot, but again, we didn't create the list. I wanted to go with what it was, and so we can shift it around ourselves what we thought. So next we're almost to the end of this one. Beast, Hank McCoy.
Ah, man, Beast. Uh, I definitely move him up to top 5
Yeah, I think he would.
in Charles's spot. He'd be my number 5. My number 5, yeah.
Yeah, I
So, yeah.
definitely agree, because he's a brilliant scientist. He's got agility. He's got strength. He's got it all in his character. They've even made him to be more of a prankster um, than just. But he can also go to that serious intellect as he's doing things.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
And he's got this crazy primal apeness to him that is freaking amazing.
well with this. They say he serves as the team's conscience. So if we say that, you know, um, let's just say that like different character, I guess, characteristics. You've got Cyclops, who's the leader. He's got that morals, that leadership quality. You've got the heart, which would be, do we want to say Jean Grey or do we want to say Wolverine?
I think Wolverine's the heart of the team. Like I think Jean's the You said it right earlier. She's the emotions.
Emotions.
Like she's that empath. She's got that empath quality to her.
She's got the empathy. And then you've got, like you've got Rogue, who's strength, I guess you'd say. She's got that strong characteristic. And then Storm would be, what would Storm be?
Storm's like that maternal instinct, man. She leads through strength, she leads through love, she leads through responsibility. Like all those things you look at when you see, like when I look at my wife, I see a strong woman. I see strength through womanhood. Not like Rogue, where you see strength through strength. You see strength through muscles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what she is. Storm's like this goddess who's also very motherly, very maternal, very, very strong in those maternal, womanly ways that we need as dudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So him being the conscious, so he would be up, he would be down there. So our 5 would be rounded off with Beast.
Yeah.
That's where he should be holding his spot. So he's one of the few X-Men that has been a member of the Avengers and the Defenders. So he wasn't just an X-Men through the comics. And his first appearance was obviously X-Men #1. And that's the picture that we see right there where the big feet, big hands, but he wasn't that blue furball yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Also a sitting congressman. He was a senator.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that.
He was in the government. He held a federal office in many different iterations of his comic book history.
That's right. All right. Moving on to our last one, which is Colossus.
Yeah, Colossus, man, he's definitely a founding member for me. He has to be in the top 10. I know he's at number 10 right now. And even though we've placed all these people, like you could move them all around and I'd be fine with anywhere we placed them. Because they're the core group that I'm thinking of are these 10 people minus Magneto. I'd probably switch Magneto out and put someone along the lines of like a Morph or a Gambit. But the group we got on this list, solid, man. Colossus is he's from another country. He didn't come over till he was already a man. Like he's an adult person who comes over, integrates into the team. He's the strength. He's the muscle. Him and Rogue basically are the front lines for the team. And he's the only one who has a strong accent that you can tell exactly where he's from. Like Storm has an accent, but most of the time it's more like, oh yeah, she's from Africa. We can tell she's from Africa. What country? I don't know, but she's from Africa. But this dude, you're like, oh, that dude's Russian. He's fucking Russian. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the one thing that we don't see a lot, at least with the newer, like in the movies, when it comes to Colossus, is we don't see the transformation. Because what people think is that he's always metal. He actually isn't always metal. It's something that he can, almost like the Hulk, transform into, and we see the metal wrap around. That's why if you look at the original pictures, which are on the slide right here, the one that shows like the front, side, and back view, it looks like like not scales, but like it's coiled.
Yeah, like bindings.
Yeah. And that's because it actually grows out of him and wraps around his whole body, and he becomes metal that way. So if you guys didn't know that, because you've only seen him in Deadpool, well, that's what happens with him.
But if you go back to X2, we get a brief transformation. We don't actually see it happen, but you do see him in normal skin, and then we see him as the Metal Colossus. And fun fact, that was all practical effects. That's not a digital skin over him.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I found that out very recently, actually.
Nice. His first appearance was in X-Men #1 or Giant Size X-Men #1 in 1975. So we got Colossus along with Storm. They came around the same time during the late or the mid 70s, which we've already, by this point, we've had about 12 years worth of X-Men, but with all the original cast up until now, where we end up getting a Russian of all people, a Russian during the time that there was a lot of tension between Russia and the US and it was growing.
Yeah, I mean, he came in at a good time though. It was a mid to late 70s. The Cold War wasn't really a huge thing yet, so it was a cool, soft introduction. And then, I mean, he did take kind of a hit during the 80s when the Cold War was a big thing. He wasn't as popular, but he never lost. He never got so unpopular that he fell off. He's always been a strong forefront member of the X-Men ever since his introduction. Yeah. He even wears the round. Where's the colors? The red and yellow.
But to round it off, yeah, he would be a good one to round off all the X-Men. I think this whole list has minus, I would say, you're right, Magneto, even though he became a leader of the X-Men several iterations. This is the actual X-Men team that we grew up with, that we know of. And this is the core, the heart, whatever you want to say, of the X-Men. So, yeah, I mean, with that, I mean, you think about it, the X-Men aren't just superheroes. They're symbols of resistance, identity, and hope. Their stories of power and persistence have resonated with readers across decades. The characters on this list represent, like we've already said, the heart and soul of the legacy, minus Magneto. I might even put in Kitty Pryde, because Kitty Pryde was during the 70s when she came around.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was going to come up after you finished your monologue.
Whether leading a team, wrestling with the dark inner forces, or teleporting through danger, these mutants continue to evolve with time. And yeah, I mean, shoot, man. Until next time, true believers.
Yeah, I think easily Magneto could have fell off. The only change I would have made was Magneto fall off, not because he doesn't belong in the X-Men talk, but just because he's not an X-Man. And Jubilee or Kitty Pryde could have easily fell into that spot.
I didn't even think of that. Jubilee could have definitely fell in there. Yeah, because the whole story arc between her and Wolverine. Yeah. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, because if you think about it, you were there. You saw the original, it was like 80s version of the X-Men. Pizza Hut used to give it out on VHS.
Yep.
Actually, I believe it's called X-Men Pride of the X-Men. It's like a two-part video. Yeah. And in that one, I fucking loved it because we got that crazy Aussie Wolverine. But it focused on Kitty Pryde joining the X-Men as a new kid, where my X-Men, the X-Men animated series, was Jubilee entering the fray as a new X-Men. And we don't get Kitty Pryde till almost the end of that animated series.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think either one of them could easily fell into that 10th spot and just rounded out that whole story. Because they're the young, either one of them could fall in and be that young, I'm scared of everything. The world is after me, but I'm looking forward to everything because these cool people around me are just like me,
Yeah.
They're the hope.
But, well, with that is it for wow. We have made it through. We went a little longer, but that's okay because it's been a while since we've actually been on. But dude, it was like you were never gone. It flowed, which was nice.
Once we got back into it, took us a couple minutes to find our footing.
Well, then, I mean, along with the camera issue and whatever issues we both had, because we both had camera issues, it's like if we never left, we're right back into it. Guys, we are back. And I was gonna say a line from Beverly Hills Cop, but we're gonna leave that alone because, yeah. Or actually, no, was it Beverly Hills Cop or was it Trading Spaces? Not Trading Spaces. 48 hours.
What's the line?
I'm black. You're white. We're back, or something like that. I think it was actually Beverly Hills Cop 2. Can't remember it now, but whatever. Neither here or there.
Yep. Neither here nor there.
But all right, guys, that is it for us for tonight. We're going to call it a night, and we will be back here next week on Wednesday, and I will be coming from my home studio because I'm actually taking some time off from this place because I need it. Absolutely. Oh, dude, I need it so bad. I'm so over this. But yeah, guys, we mentioned it before at the beginning of the show. We are going to be at LA Comic-Con. Myself, David will be there. We're trying to grow a team to be out there. If you guys are interested in wanting to be in front of a camera or can run a camera, we are not paying you, but we will get you a con ID badge to be able to go to the con for 3 days. But you will be working with us while we're there, doing interviews and other great things while we're there. So if you guys are interested, by all means, DM us, hit us up, let us know. But we're looking forward to being out there because we're going to be out there with Project Wish Upon a Star, which are great friends of ours, Darren and Veronica. And they're going to have a booth. We're in the booth. The theme is Saturday morning cartoons because we are going to be having a legendary artist from Hanna-Barbera there doing a signing the whole time. And they actually they've got some really cool prizes or giveaways. Actually, some are going to be given away, but a lot of them are going to be sold, which is they're actually your cousin's back. I haven't seen. Look at that. That's checked out. Oh, and Lupe, what's going on? Well, at least there was no dial-up problems. There was. You missed them. You just came in too late. But it's actually going to be a cereal box. And inside the cereal box, some of them are going to have actual bowls that the artist actually created the artwork for around the bowl. And there's going to be some more mystery prizes inside the box, so you can purchase those while you're there. Really looking forward to that, to see what they got, because it's going to be exciting. We'll probably get a sample. As soon as they get their samples, we're going to get a sample of it so we can show you guys kind of what the box is, but not what's inside of it. That's pretty much it. Yeah, unless you can think of something.
I got nothing, man. I'm barely dipping my toes in the sand right now. I'm still getting my feet wet right now.
Just getting back to it.
Literally, man. I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to set up. Now I'm at the new house 100% of the time.
Well, didn't you say you had like a little troll hole or something down below?
I have an attic space, but I need to lay some floor up there because there's no flooring. So once I can get some particle board and stuff, I'll lay it out and then I'll set up there. But
that's cool. I mean, shoot, I wish I had that.
Dude, I might even make a little segment out of it. Take pictures, what it looks like now, what it's going to look like over time, and then how the studio itself comes up, and then do a little walkthrough once it's done, and we do our first show or something.
Nice. All right. Cool. Well, there you go, guys. That's what you get to look forward to, is seeing David's attic transformed into his studio. But, dude, since you haven't been here for so long, why don't you take us out?
Well, guys, it's been a pleasure being back. I know I spent a long time away between transitioning positions and getting activated, and now on the job hunt. I've been very busy. I've spent a lot of time filling out applications. I'm excited to be back. I cannot wait till we get to the con. I am glad to see this fool again. Not excited, but I'm glad to see him
Oh,
again.
thanks.
But you know, I'm glad you guys came here. I'm glad you guys have stuck through and kept my man here company while I was out. Like I said, I've been out a lot. I've had a lot of things to do, but I am back. I will do my best to be more in it. I won't fly by the seat of my pants. That's a promise to you guys who are watching. But thanks for joining us. Come back next week. We talked about the X-Men. We talked about, you know, castings, who's showing up, who's going where. Charlie Cox putting himself in some hot water. And, you know, we ranked some top 10 X-Men over the day. So join us next week. Maybe we'll do something new. If you have ideas, if you have anything you want us to see, like, comment, subscribe, hit us up at all of our Instas, our social medias, Instagram, Twitch. We don't have an X, right? TikTok, Facebook exists. We just don't use it no more. And the best place to hit us up is either on the show here through Instagram or at our Gmail. That is the Geek Saga 20@gmail.com. Join us next week when we'll be back. Same bad time, same bad channel when the saga continues.